Let's go live. Let's go live on a Wednesday. Let's go live. Let us go live on a Wednesday. Let us go live. If you are present and you are live with me, just write on the comment live. Just write on the comment live. If you can hear me and you are present, just write on the comments live. Just write live on the comments. Just write live on the comments. Please share with your friends, invite them. This is going to be a very exciting day, informative, inspiring, and just write live if you can hear this message. Just write live on the comment. If I'm live, just write live, and I can see people coming in, and I would like to welcome you as you come in right now. I'd like to welcome you as you come in. Just write live on the comment if you see this message and it is live. Just write live on the comments. Thank you. And share this. Okay, Brother Calvin said to me, I must put a shareable. It's not shareable, by the way. You can just click the link and send it to others. It's not shareable because it's a private group. But you can share with your friends, anybody. Does not matter, even if you are not an APL Go member. You can just share with anybody. You can just share with anybody. Today we are going deeper in a very important royal assignment, empirical royal assignment that we are going through today. The rise of your health empire, the rise of your health empire, the 6 pillars of your health empire, the 6 pillars of your health empire. We have got regions, we have got territories, we have got countries, we've got nations, but we also have empires. An empire is a combination of all the nations that are paying homage to one king of kings, all those kings coming to that king. It is called an empire. It is called an empire. That is a huge body of people, a huge body of people. They all pay homage to one empire. And today I want to unveil, I want to reveal the secrets of the empire, which will need you to take a 6-day march to go and conquer the territories of that empire. And as you are going to take that 6-day march, like in the Bible, that they marched for 6 days around a certain empire, and after that, it says that the walls of that empire fell. I am hoping today that as you are going to take with me the 6-day march to go and take the territories of this empire, at the end of it, you are going to experience 2 goals of this empire. You are going to experience longevity. You are going to experience longevity. And the second one, you are going to experience vitality. Vitality. You are going to experience longevity, and you are going to experience vitality. Now, longevity means long life, and vitality means abundant life. You know, there are, small startup cars that will live for a very long time, but they will do very little in life. But there are cars with big engines. Those cars are cars of vitality. Once they start moving, they cover a lot of miles in a short space of time. There are those cars that can be kept by our grandmothers, which are those Beetles that will take long life, but they just go around from the shop to the house, from the shop to the house. And that is long life. Long life is good. Make no mistake, long life is good. But longevity, as much as it is good, you need to mix it with abundant life vitality. That means it must not just be a car that lives long, but it has to be a car that has got a big engine that is going to travel miles. That is why you will need this longevity. That is why you will need this vitality. I know of people who live a long life, but you look at them, they are not written in any history books. They have done nothing. You ask yourself, my God, why did you give this person long life? There are people today that need to have this long life so that they can change the territories. They can change the lives of the people in Africa. We need this long life, but we need it to have vitality. It must have abundance. It must have a big engine. It must not just be a small car. Therefore, today, we are going to talk about territories, which I believe that you need to understand that they exist. The problem we have today, people do not understand what is health. They have absolutely no idea what is health. Imagine if you have a Boeing that is going to fly a long distance, and you call a mechanic who is a mechanic of a Beetle and say to this mechanic of a Beetle, prepare this Boeing which is going to fly over continents. Today there are people who are trying to bring a Beetle mechanic to come and service the Boeing, which is their body that is going to fly long distances. You bring today a mechanic and say, just NRM is okay. Just NRM is okay. And I say to you, I think you will need MLS, you will need HRT. You say, no, that's expensive. I just need NRM. I just need all these 375. You are misunderstanding your nature of who you really are. You are a Boeing that has to fly long distances. When we talk about the elite products, those are the products that are given to the Boeing that is going to fly long distances. And then you complain and say they are expensive. When we talk about the premier products, we are looking at the quality of the life that you are, which is supposed to travel long distances. And then you complain and say that is expensive. Let me tell you this. Sickness is more expensive than getting healed. It is more expensive to be sick than to be healed. But when you understand who you are, when you understand the population that is inside of you, when you understand what is really inside, you are not going to play. You are going to say, my God, I did not have an idea. Therefore, let us quickly start and say, what is inside a human body? What is inside a human body? How many people are in China today? China has got 1.5 billion people. How many people are in India? India has got 1.4 billion people. They actually compete with each other. How many people are in Africa? Africa as a whole has got almost also 1.3, 1.4 billion people. Right. Now imagine one person taking care of 1.4 billion people. One person given the responsibility of those lives. I am saying this. I don't care who you think your creator is. To me, it really does not matter. But the truth is that inside you, you have 37 trillion human cells. Did you hear that? That is the citizenship that is inside of you. And each one is born, each one is alive, each one is living, and each one is dying with purpose. Cells are not just things. They are living units inside the body. They have a mission. They have a function. They have a lifespan. They have birth. They have a service. They have an end. The replacement system, where new cells are going to rise and old one falls. Inside your body, there is 37 trillion living beings. And these 37 living beings, others are born, others are dying. There are funerals inside your body. There are maternity wards inside your body. There is a replacement system that is happening. Some of them, they live just for minutes. Some they live for months. Some they live for years. But all of them, they are serving the empire faithfully. That's what lives in your body. The population that lives in your body does not need any politics. It does not need any voting. It needs an emperor that can make a decision. It needs leadership. You need to lead well. You need to lead well, because those are the cells that are inside the body. Each one of them depends on you, depends on your thinking, depends on your decision. And there you come. Then you just say, just give me 1 NRM. What do you think 1 NRM is going to do to 37 trillion citizens living inside you? What do you think it's going to do? Do you even know who you are? Do you even know the responsibilities that you have about the existence that is inside you? It's not all about you. It's about those citizens that are living there. Now, if those citizens that are living there do not fall under your command, it means that there is anarchy in your body. It means that there are territories that are just doing whatever they like. Now let's look at the other population. We just spoke about cells, and we said cells are 37 trillion, and we said that each one has a life. Others live for a minute, others live for a month, others live for a day, others live for years. The cells in your body. Now, 37 trillion is a lot. But let me take you further. Because where I'm going to take you now, you will notice that this body is not just, a planet. This body is a galaxy. It's a galaxy. Let me tell you this. There is something that is called the microbiome population. That microbiome population lives in something called the gut. That is why you need MLS. MLS is taking care of a huge population. Now this population that's why they say MLS is Makonatotli. Because what lives in this place is 100 trillion microbes. Now we spoke about 37 trillion. Now here is 100 trillion microbes. And those microbes that are living there, you have your bacteria that lives there, you've got your fungi that lives there, you've got your viruses that live there. Bacteria is good, by the way. Fungi is good, virus is good. But it has to be in its own place. It must not be a rogue virus. It has to be in its own place. You have good and protective microbes. Now, all that 100 trillion there, it needs something far beyond MLS. Maybe you will need also eyes there. But, hey, those are 100 trillion lives that are there. They all live and they have some functions that they do. They digest food. They produce vitamins. They strengthen immunity. They fight infections. They influence the mood and the brain health. You know, some people's mood, they have no understanding where it comes from. It comes from those 100 trillion microbes that are there. And now when you feed them well, they serve the kingdom with loyalty. When you abuse them, they are going to repel and the empire is going to suffer. So, my message to you today, you are not just a body. You are a sovereign land that has got 137 trillion living residents. Some are citizens, some are allies. All depend on your leadership. All depend on your leadership. And these are the citizens, these 137 trillion, the 37 trillion is the cells, the 100 are the microbiomes. They are working inside you to produce two things. They are producing abundant life, which is called vitality. They are producing long life, which is called longevity. Now, if you fail to understand the kind of a galaxy you are, the kind of a continent you are, the kind of a planet you are, if you fail to understand that, you are going to treat your life like a beetle and bring a beetle mechanic when it is a Boeing 707, 47, whatever number, I forgot them. That is going to fly long distances. So, I said to you the other day, the cost of a Boeing flying, it costs great pilots, it costs great hosts and hostesses, and it pays, they get paid a lot of money, and you must pay for that. But I said to you again, the cost of that Boeing to rest, just for it to rest. And I made an example of flying about GTS to rest in RLX. That's why GTS is the same price as RLX. Because the cost of sleeping, when there is sleep time, you need to bring the engineers that are going to maintain it, preparing it for the next flight. It is the same cost, same cost, same cost. Now, whether the citizens are taking care of you in your waking life, whether the citizens are taking care of you in your sleeping life, you need to understand something. This empire, it needs an emperor. And I want you to write in the comments that I am the emperor of my kingdom. I am the emperor of my kingdom, because this is a kingdom. This is a kingdom. I am the emperor of my kingdom. I want you to write in there. Write in the comment section, I am the emperor of my kingdom. Let's just look and see, so that in the meantime we can also welcome people who are coming in. Let me see if we have some member requests. There is no member requests yet. No, that is fine. Now let us go and see if we are present, and let us see if we are really live. Let us see if we are really live, if we are present. Actually, I want to see the comment section. I want to see the comment section. And I want you to write in the comment section. Let's see if we are able to see that. Now, this is a kingdom. This kingdom now, the emperor is bringing together the generals and saying to them, it's time we go and take those territories, because these territories, they are beginning to rebel. These territories are beginning to rebel. It's time to go and take them over. And this is the march, the 6-day march that I want us to do from tomorrow. We are going to take over the territories that are inside our body, and we are going to make sure that they obey. They obey the emperor of this kingdom. They obey it. Because this thing called sickness, beloved, it is a whole lot of activity that brings something that is called sickness. You don't need to take it light. It is a whole lot of activity. The politics of the body are more complicated. And therefore, it is very important for you to understand these regions. The regions that are occupied by these citizens, it is very important to understand them. The first region is called the heartland. The first region is called the heartland. That is what you call the cardiovascular pillar, where the rivers of your empire are flowing. You know, where the heart guards and keep the blood flowing strong. The heartland is a very important region, and you need to have strong soldiers that are going to take that region, that are going to conquer that region. I remember in 2017, I had a 5-day conference in Philadelphia. It was the best time of my life. I was enjoying to see people from various countries coming to listen at the biblical conference that I had there. On the second day of that conference, I had a heart problem. I don't want to say a heart attack. I had a heart problem. And for the next days of the entire week, the pulpit had to be made shorter, and I had to speak for the entire week sitting down. Imagine you go all the way from South Africa to USA, people are waiting, they are listening, and suddenly your heartland rebels against you. It rebels against you. The next place, which the emperor says we are going to march and take, it's called the energy market. The energy market. Energy. That energy market is the metabolic health. That is the metabolic pillar. And that metabolic pillar is where the energy traders, fuel every move to ensure that the kingdom is never tired. I will explain these when I come back again. I will explain them, but I'm putting them this way so that you understand the citizenry that is in your body. And the next place that the empire wants to go and take is the wisdom tower. The wisdom tower is the cognitive pillar. This is where the wisdom sages, they protect your mind and memory. And then the next one, it is the iron forge, the skeletal pillar. This is where the iron builders, they shape your bones, ensuring the strength and the resilience. That is actually the infrastructure of the entire kingdom. It says that let's go and take it. Let's go and take it. The next one is the shield citadel. That place is the immune pillar where the shield warriors, they stand guard defending your empire from the invaders. And then the last one finally is the fertile fields. Now this is the gut health, the pillar where the soil keepers cultivate the microbiome. Remember I said that there is 100 trillion of citizens that stay there. So that means that the microbiome has got a lot of citizens. That is why when you take the MLS, you are actually attacking a whole lot. That they say maybe if you don't know what problem you have, just put MLS. It is attacking that 100 trillion microbiomes. Now, all these, the reason why I'm putting them together like this is because my message to you is that you have 6 pillars of health, which you will have to look at, which you will have to take care of. These 6 pillars of health that you have, when we start, we say that the first one is the cardiovascular health. This is where we say that this is the royal capital. This is the river that feeds every town and house. If the capital thrives, the kingdom stands. If the capital falls, the kingdom collapses. Now, here, the Nile civilizations, they had the bloodstream, which is the Nile, and their heart is that great dam whereby the flow of the Nile, it flows to the dam, and when it flows strong, the empire grows rich. It grows rich. Now, the empire, what does it gain there? It gains the endless stamina, the high energy, the clean circulation, the strong breath of life. So what do we need in the capital? That's why we need HRT in the capital. And we are going to talk about that when we come back in our first day of March. And then the metabolic health is another pillar. This is the trade routes and treasury. This is the engine of the food, the sugar, the hormones, and the fuel You know, when the trade routes run smoothly, the empire prospers. And when they clog, the chaos begins. Now, the metaphor that is here is saying that imagine a kingdom whose roads are smooth and safe, good to move. People, they work, they build wealth there. But if the trade slows, there is hunger, there is weakness, there is decline. Now, what happens there is that the empire here, it wants to gain the smooth energy flow. It wants to gain the stable weight. It wants to gain the balanced hormones. It wants to gain the powerful internal economy. So, if you heard me well, I want you to write in the comment section that the cardiovascular health is the capital city. Right there, the cardiovascular health is the capital city. I want you to write that in the comment section. The cardiovascular health is the capital city. And you know that you need HRT there. It's the capital city. And I also want you to write in the comment section that the metabolic health is the trade routes. The trade routes. That's where, you know, there is that flow of fuel, the flow of energy. You know, the metabolic health, you know, that's the routes that must be running smoothly. They must not be, you know, disturbed. You know, the sugar must flow, the food must flow, the hormones must flow, the fuel must flow. That is the metabolic health. The metabolic health is the trade routes. You can look in my blog, actually, because I'm referring to my blog. Now, the third part, which the emperor says, we need to go there in that territory and conquer it. You know, it is the Royal Library and Council, which is the cognitive and emotional health. The cognitive and emotional health. I want you to write there that the cognitive and emotional health, that is the third pillar. The cognitive and emotional health. That is the third pillar. Right there, the cognitive and emotional health. I like this because when you experience depression does not necessarily come from a brain problem. It comes from an emotional problem which becomes a trigger that triggers the brain trouble. So they go together. I know of people who have got a lot of cognitive power, you know, who are strong mentally, but they are weak emotionally, you know, and at the end of the day, it's easy for them to crash. So we need to restore that place. And that place, for us to restore it, sometimes we will need GTS, you know, to wake up and go. We will need RLX, you know, against depression. And we will need BRN to feed that place. And now this is the place which is the brain palace, the wisdom chamber. The decisions are made here. The vision lives here. The smart empire, it outlives enemies. The calm ruler, you know, because you're smart because of your cognitive part. You calm because of your emotional part. Now, the calm ruler, it leads nations to peace. So the metaphor here is that you need to think of an emperor with a wise counsel. You know, an emperor with a wise counsel. Clear strategy wins wars. Confusion loses empires. What this empire gains here, if it brings this, it's going to be mental sharpness. It's going to be emotional stability. You know, memory and focus. What is that? That is BRN. BRN, memory and focus. Joy and clarity. What is that? That is HPY. That is HPY. Mental sharpness. You know, the mental stamina, it comes from the GTS. The emotional stability. Emotional stability will come from the RLX. You need all these in this place because they must go there. You must march with those soldiers there and go and capture that territory so that you will say that one more territory and the citizens are under my rule. I'm saying to you today, for you to be healthy, you need to be an emperor. You need to decide like an emperor. You know, your body needs more attention than your house. Your house just needs a father, a husband, a mother, a wife. That's good, you know. And then that mortgage that is paid from month to month, that's good. I like that. You know, but the body, it needs an emperor. because the body has got 137 trillion citizens. So you need to know that the body needs more attention than your house. You need this body. That is why the Bible says this is the temple. This is the temple. It's because it's a galaxy. It's a galaxy. There is a whole lot of citizens living here. Now, the next part that must be conquered by the emperor is called the musculoskeletal health. Right? Musculoskeletal health. Right? Musculoskeletal health. Now, musculoskeletal health, it is the roads, the walls, and the warriors. The roads, the walls, and the warriors. The bones are your city walls. The muscles are your knights and builders. You know, movement is your army that is marching. Weak structure, is a crumbling empire. The strong structure is an endless expansion. Now, the metaphor here is that like Rome, that had the paved roads across the nation, your body lays strength across the limbs. The strong empire is equal to strong roads, is equal to strong reach. What the empire needs here, it wants to gain strength and balance. It wants to gain flexibility and posture. It wants to gain pain-free movement, ability to build and travel. You know, now in this musculoskeletal, you will have inflammation, and therefore you will need STP that is going to come there and match them and strengthen those structures, because there is inflammation all over them. It has to put them together. It has to bind them again together. And there is also repair. The repair that has to be there from the joints, from the muscle, from the bones, from the sinews, you know, from the cartilage. You will need to have SLD. So the SLD and the STP, they are the warriors that are coming into that place that has got trillions of citizens that are in that place. And that's when they do that, they are going to defeat arthritis. They are going to defeat back pain. So you need a strong empire. You need to understand, as I say to you, that your body it needs more attention than the one that you give to it. It needs more attention. Now, the fifth territory is called the immune and inflammatory health. Immune and inflammatory health. Right in the comment section, immune and inflammatory health. I am helping you with this so that on days like today, you know, when you go to your product presentation, you need to have this in picture and understand as you are being taught there. My favorite day initially was a Wednesday. I knew that a Wednesday is going to inform me so much about my body. You know, when I go to the presentations there, you know, I knew this is what the new people need when they are coming to this business. They need to understand the product. Our product is a cellular product. You will hear even in the presentation tonight. You are going to be told that this product, it is working at the cellular level. The reason why it is the cellular level, it simply means that it is working at the level of the citizenry, the level of those 37 trillion. You know, it is working with each one of them. It is meticulous, working with one and each one of them. It is working there, and I'm telling you, you need this. And Mamzo, I can see that you are here. I love how you do a product, and I pray that, you know, one day we will have you giving a product with all these six pillars of health. And I would love to see somebody who is going to give the 6 pillars of health, presenting the product, because our product is working at a cellular level. Cellular level. I want you to write there, cellular level. Our product is dealing with citizens one by one. Right there, cellular level. Let's see if you are following me. Let's see if you are following me. I hope what I'm teaching you here is making sense to you. I hope what I'm teaching you here is going to help you. This video actually will be also on YouTube. If you want the link of it, I will give it to you after an hour. Because this, I'm telling you, this 6th day is going to take your people, especially the new people, it's going to take them to another level. I want to have here God helping me to give you something that you are going to repeat again and again and again. Because the journey that we are going to take now, as we are going to do this 6-day march, each day we will be looking at each territory. We will be attacking each territory. Because let me tell you, this body is a very special machine that is supposed to be achieving a lot of things. God would not give you 137 trillion members to come and take care of the mission that He wants you to achieve in your life. You need to understand that your life has got such an important mission to a point that your God has given you 137 trillion soldiers that are going to work there. So we are working at the cellular level. That's where we are working. And as I'm saying, that what we need to do, we need to understand, that these 5 territories that we have spoken about, they are very important territories. Now, the immune and inflammatory health, that is the Royal Guard. That is the Royal Guard. That is the Royal Guard. Ask the people during the COVID. Ask GRW, the Royal Guard. GRW, the Royal Guard. I want you to write notes of this. Write notes not only in the comment section. I want you to write note to understand what was in the mind of our leader Sergei Kulikov when he was creating each product together with his technicians. They knew that what they are attacking is a huge empire. And every person who is teaching on Wednesday will always remind you that this is working at a cellular level. When I arrived here, the first person who was presenting the products, it was Lungile, Dr. Maswiti, and I think my first presentation after I came to APL Go, that was my first presentation. He made so much sense. Everything that he was saying to me, it was resonating because it was coming to somebody who has been studying these pillars. These are the pillars that I studied from 6 years ago. And when he spoke about this, I was very happy to understand that we have things like GRW. The empire, it needs soldiers. The body has got warriors that defend the castle. And you must think of your loyal guards at every gate. And when they are trained and alert, the enemies fail. When they are sleeping, the invaders, they enter. Now the empire here, it needs to gain resilience to threats. It needs to have fast recovery. It needs to have internal peace and stability, protection from chronic attack. Let me say this, we have an incentive which is looking for, we need to be having, some point volumes that I know that monthly we used to have about 100 point volumes, some of others, 5 products. But the reason why I am talking about this, I'm not talking about products that you must just go and buy and sell to other people. I'm trying to say to you, every product we have in the company, it is well thought for your sake. It is well thought for your prosperity of your own empire, of your own 137 trillion citizens. Don't just take these products and the first thing you're thinking is how much you're going to make in these products. Take these products and say, how can I strengthen my empire? Because I have got more citizens in this empire than all the customers I have outside there. You will always hear Mom Kenzie saying, Rejastogo, because she knows that she's got some citizens that are inside of her, which needs to be attacked first. And I know people like me, I love cognitive health products, I love musculoskeletal products, but I also need to take, the GRWs. So even those products which you think they're not important for you, you need those products because there are places, there are territories that you are not taking care of. And I'm telling you, this empire, you need to overcome the entire empire. So the last part, which I'm going to end with today, is called the gut and digestive health. This is the fertile farmland. This is where life grows. This is where nutrients are harvested. This is where energy is planted and multiplied. Now, the metaphor that is here, you must imagine an empire with rich soil and flowing harvest. So there is no famine, no weakness. Prosperity is for all citizens. Now, the empire here, what it is going to gain is going to gain nourishment, clean energy, strong immunity roots, foundation for every territory. Now, this place, you need your eyes. You need your eyes here. And you will be surprised that the eyes is not only repairing, it's not only repairing here, but the eyes here is going to take away addictions, because there is a whole lot of things that are happening with these 100 trillion citizens that are here. Your MLS that is here, it is taking care of very serious citizenry. It wants to make sure that there is no anarchy. It wants to make sure that there is no anarchy. That is why when we have challenges like cancer, we have challenges whereby there are some, vampires that will come and take the life from each cell, and after that they will live like they will take that life and live in the place of the cell, killing every cell that is there, and as they kill every cell that is there, they take over that place and they start ruling that place. And then we say that your empire's territory, maybe the gut territory, has been taken over. But my message to you today as I'm closing, I say, family, it is time that we march. We need a 6-day march. I'm calling you today that we need to take this territory and we need to take this dynasty. We need to take this nation as a divine territory. We need it. We must stand. Life is so deep. Life is not just about you breathing in and out. It is about 137 trillions that you must feed. So before you take that product and rush to other places to go and help the other places to fight, ask yourself this question. Am I going to be a doctor that is known as the most sick doctor ever to try and heal other people? Am I going to be known as the billionaire who was living the most impoverished life? Am I going to be known that way? Because you are having with you weapons that are coming at a cellular level, weapons that are coming to attack each and every citizen, to say to them, you need to bow down to this emperor, the emperor that you are. And I want you to say this in closing, that I am the emperor of my kingdom. I am the emperor of my kingdom. I need you to rise, to that health empire, the health empire. When your body becomes a kingdom, your cells, they become citizens. Your future will bow to your leadership because you have the better version of yourself. We are those emperors. I always like to say to you that we are the lions. We are the kings. A king does not need a motivation. A lion doesn't need a motivation to go and hunt. This is who you are. You don't need motivation. You are building your empire. You have your kingdom. You don't need somebody to motivate you. You already have it inside you. So that is my story today. And as my upline will always say, I stand by my story. And thank you for coming to the meeting today. And let me do some acknowledgements and get ready, because this is just the beginning. We are going for a 6-day march, and we will be talking about each kingdom each kingdom. Let's look at the comments here. Leader Anna, Mavimbela Flora, Leader Mina, Leader Velemina, Leader Lady LB, Leader David Bass, Leader Masejo, Leader Tebuko Modau, Leader Mamute, Leader Winimukwena, Leader Promise, Leader Ripulelo, Leader Kiriboni, Leader Shanine, a shout out to you. I can see your work. Well done in the course, you know, the online course. At the moment, I like what I see about what you are doing. People like you make us very proud as we teach. Leader Madipulelo, and then it says there are 69 more. 69 more leaders. I'm not able to mention all your names, but I truly appreciate as we are taking this together, as we are taking this journey together. Let me just see at the likes there. Leader Calvin, Leader Mamanki, Leader Ayanda Tom, Leader Kabiso, and leaders, please, if I have not acknowledged you, please just know that I have a problem with my screen. And yes, Leader Mina, I am the emperor of my kingdom. Thank you, leaders, and I would like to have the comments that I'm going to have. I would like to have those comments in my YouTube. I'm going to put my YouTube here so that you can actually go to my YouTube. It's just Vanto, that is my YouTube, because we need to take this message, especially the message like this one that we start today and the next 6 days. We need to take this message, especially for the people who have just accepted this business, the people who are our new customers. We need to take this message for them to know that we are dealing with an emperor. Thank you very much, and I appreciate you. Let's meet again tomorrow. Let's go win and let's go big.